Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dicing with Death, our sometimes weekly show that, when it actually
Usually
is,
not, apparently.
usually not, and sometimes late, but it is, as I've been saying
We're
all day
playing now.
today, the best RPG on Twitch. This is the best D&D show on all of Twitch, and we all know that to be true. Suck at misclick, suck at roleplay. I love you guys, but Dicing with Death is better. Um, Ryan, long time no see, buddy. How's it going?
Yeah, it's going well. It's going well. I think you officially have to call me Master Ryan now.
Master
I got
Ryan?
I got approval for my portfolio.
Oh, really?
I,
But you
yes.
haven't finished it though. It's not.
Well, I'm still in the midst of a PhD program, but they gave me my master's degree
So
along the
you
way.
they just gave you a master's degree, like, I'm working on my PhD. Here's
I
a
mean,
fucking
they don't hand them
master's.
out for free. I've been working here for 2 years, but
But I mean, that was that part of the program that you were going to get your master's.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Well, Master Ryan, I
So
guess.
unless you refer to me as Master Ryan throughout the broadcast, I'm not sure if Qualnir will last through the session.
What if I just refer to you as Dungeon Master?
Dungeon Master Ryan, that's probably a more prestigious title, isn't it?
I think so. Master of Dungeons. Yeah. Well, Master Ryan, man, this is gonna be
I'm
rough.
joking. I'm not going to be able to handle that.
I know, I know.
So, do we have anything we want to talk about? Should we
Let's do
skip the small chat and jump right in?
yeah,
I'm
let's
going
do
to
a quick
obviously
recap.
recap.
Last we left, we were in Seabreeze.
Both. Seagate is
Seagate.
this. Yes. So,
We're,
Qualnir has arrived in Seagate, this beautiful walled port city. Um, Seabreeze is a tavern within the outer city that you are currently staying in.
mm-hmm.
Um, let's I guess set the tone. It's late autumn, so it's cold and it seems like a incessant fog hangs over the city. The buildings are packed close together, so you find both navigating the city and keeping track of where you are and where you've been is a little difficult. Um, so I think last time, after some brief adventures, you arrived in the city. You poked around. You've got your place to stay. Um, your companion Michelle has been missing for at least the day.
Mm-hmm.
You've located at least one sort of headquarters of this regional thieves guild,
Mm-hmm.
the Goldsmiths Union,
Mm-hmm.
and they have a sort of seedy tavern down by the docks called the Gilded Rat. And then you put on your nice clothes and walked into the inner city,
Mm-hmm.
inner wall, which was you met no resistance. There's another wall and a set of guards, but you strutted right on by, bribed your way into a church bell tower, and managed to get a lookout over the city and to the castle,
Right.
part of which is in an island in the bay.
Right. And my
So
plan was
I
to sneak into the inner castle on the island on the bay and steal the jewels of Ms. Seabreeze. Seagate. Miss
something
Seagate.
along those lines. You haven't really. I mean, you don't really know how you're gonna do that.
Right, but that's the plan.
So if I don't even remember where we left off, unless you have. Otherwise, we can just say you're still in that church tower overlooking the city. Unless you were chat, can remember otherwise.
I think I was in the tower and then I went to the Gilded Rat after that and talked about how to get
Okay, you're right.
open the
Yes. Yeah.
doors to the castle. Like there's a sally port or some sort of extra door on the north
Yeah.
side of
I guess you
the
did go to
castle.
the Gilded Rat afterwards,
Yeah.
uh, and you met Sturge, a black-robed, shady character, a gaunt face and a seedy mustache. And you probably had heard his name before meeting him, but he seemed to be of importance within the guild.
Yes, I'm just writing a note.
And I believe he was the one that told you that there is a Sally Port or something.
Okay, just taking notes. Sturge, black-robed, shady guy with a mustache, mentioned in the note. I guess I don't need my notes about Sir Holder anymore. He's kind of gone.
Was he the one that you hooked up with?
Yeah. Okay, the teal ship sigil is the Lord Seagate sigil. The open palm is Lord Ashenholt.
Who is dead?
Hmm. Let's see. And then there's the woman in Brinton, who I don't really need to know. Okay.
I think you were just jotting down rumors that you'd
Yeah.
overheard.
Gilded Rat is there. Okay.
So we can fill this in as we go. Why don't we hop in, explore the city a little bit, see what trouble
do it.
Qualnir can get into. So I think let's pick up there. It's late afternoon. You have not seen Michelle since I think she didn't come home last night.
Right.
And you have not seen her all day.
Right.
So it is now late afternoon. You are down by the docks district. This seems to be sort of the poorer side of town. It's mostly populated by sort of dock workers and sailors, cheap prostitutes, fishmongers. Kind of smells and it's dirty, and the buildings are packed close together.
Mm-hmm.
I think you've just sort of stepped outside of the Gilded Rat.
Yeah. So I step outside.
So you're sort of right on the waterfront.
Yeah, I want to go down and find someone that, like a fisherman or someone that looks like they have a small ocean craft. That is perhaps like, maybe a guy that's fixing his net or a guy that's like working on his boat in some way. Some guy that has a boat that is near it but not necessarily using it currently.
Are you trying to find an unoccupied boat to steal? Is that what you're suggesting?
No. I'm trying to find a man near his boat that I can go talk to and see if I can hire him for a passage out around the bay.
Okay. So you were like standing on the quay. You're right next to a bunch of boats. There's rowboats all over, ships, sailors bustling about. It's afternoon, so it's less busy than it would be in the morning. Mm-hmm. So they're not like actively. I mean, most of the ships here are sort of where they're going to be for the night. So there's a few sailors on duty, a few people running errands to and fro. Roll a perception check. First of all.
D20 plus 9. 26.
Nice. Okay. So amidst the crowd, you spot a brown-robed figure, sort of hunched over, lugging a large burlap sack over his shoulder, sort of north of you, towards the central district.
But he's just one man among many, right?
Just one man among many. Just you thought it was peculiar.
He's carrying a brown burlap sack?
Yeah, it's pretty large, maybe like 5 feet long.
What about this man strikes me as peculiar?
The fact that he's concealed I just described him to you. Does that not sound peculiar? Maybe Qualnir doesn't find it peculiar.
I mean, we're walking around.
He's completely concealed in a brown robe, hobbling through the streets with a huge load.
So by completely concealed, you mean like hood over his head? Yeah. Can't see any flesh on him anywhere?
Yeah, it looks like he's up. I mean, it looks to you like totally sketchy, but most people seem to ignore it.
Okay. I will walk after him a little ways. It wasn't my intention down here, but I'll go. I'll bite.
Yeah, that's what I was checking to see if this would distract Qualnir.
Yeah, he's distracted. He follows the man.
Okay. He sort of walks down a side street towards the ocean. So like an alley between two buildings that are right up against the ocean front.
I will peer down the alleyway before I.
Okay. So he was walking from the north towards you, and then turned down an alley towards the ocean.
Okay.
Towards the bay.
Yeah, I'll corner and peer around it before I step in. Mm-hmm.
Okay. He is at the far end of the alley with the burlap sack on the ground now.
I have a few darts. I've been wounded. All right. I'll glance around, make sure no one's taking undue notice of me. If there's anyone eyeing me specifically, I'll change my action. But assuming that no one is looking at me or taking particular note of me, I will make my way down the alley.
It's a reasonably crowded street, and no one seems to be taking note of the robed figure or you.
Yeah, I'll head down the alley.
Okay. At what sort of pace?
Quicker than normal. Not jogging, but trying to close the gap pretty quickly.
Okay. So the burlap sack is on the ground. And it looks like he's sort of rolling it, pushing it. Do you wish to run to try and catch him before he does whatever he's doing?
How far on the other side of the alley is he?
You're probably about 20 feet from him. 20. Let me think. I don't know. Far enough that you aren't going to get there if you walk. Do you want to roll initiative? I mean, are you trying to
I would like to
race him, or will you just let him do what he's doing?
I call out to him. I say, "Hey, old man, with the sack."
Okay. Yeah. So
although if he's 20 feet, I don't need to yell, but I do call out.
Yeah. So he does look to be hunched over. Old man is a bit of an inference, but
oh yeah, totally.
Think what you will.
Yeah. I'm just trying to get his attention.
He sort of, with a sort of startled. Let me. Gives a bit of a shudder and sort of turns around. He leaves the sack on the ground and he's sort of pulling his hood over his face, and he looks to see you, and sort of locks gaze on you.
What's in the sack, man?
Roll up another perception check. It sort of details you gather about.
12, utter failure.
Yeah. So he locks gaze on you for a few seconds, and then hastily crouches and starts shoving the sack towards the edge of the alley. So you ask, "What's in the sack?"
Yeah, I mean, I've been doing this while I'm walking towards him, so I hope.
Okay, so you're continuing to move towards him.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So he doesn't appear to take notice of what you said, and you see that the end of the alley sort of drops off into the ocean.
I pull out.
And he looks like he's about to roll the.
I pull out my 3 dart. I pull out 3 darts, and I say.
Okay, I mean, you're basically right up next to him. So
okay. I put my. I don't know. I want to grab him by his shoulder and pull him away from his sack. Then.
Okay. Let's roll initiative. Ooh.
13. No good.
No dice. He rolled pretty poorly too, but not
13.
Quite enough. So he shoves the sack off the edge.
I listen for the noises of people, perhaps in the sack, or a person.
Roll a perception check.
20.
No, you hear no screams or anything. You hear a quick splash, and then you go. Are you still trying to grab a hold of him?
Oh, absolutely. I would like to grab him by.
So roll to hit. Back shoulder.
Attack. D20 plus 4. 2 for back attack, 2 for level. 14.
That should be a hit. Are you just gripping his clothes? Do you want to grip his shoulder?
I want to grab his
arm?
The clothes around his shoulder and his shoulder if I can get it. I just want to get a firm grip on his shoulder and then slam him into the wall on one side of the alleyway. And then pull up a knife at the same time.
Yeah, sure. Okay, yeah, so you slam him into a wall. His cowl it's like a loose fitting hood, and it falls over, so it's still covering his face. All right, and you can draw a knife at the end of that round.
Yeah.
And next round, we're going to want to roll initiative.
Eight for initiative. I wish to put the knife, up against his belly, real close. Not quite actually stabbing him, but close enough that the blade is touching his skin or piercing his clothing. Maybe making him bleed a little bit. And say, "What's in the sack?"
Okay. So you go first. You can make an attack if you want. Are you readying an action to stab if he does anything?
Yeah, I'd like to ready an action stab while I say, "What's in the sack?"
Under what conditions will you stab?
If he does not answer within 3 seconds, or if he makes a move that I deem to be offensive.
That's quite vague, but I'll sort of allow it for now. So you notice he's breathing heavily,
Hmm.
panting almost. Rocks, sack of rocks.
I stab him in the belly.
Roll to hit.
I guess it's just d20 plus 2. I have no bonus. 7. Whoop. I forgot the 2 on there, so 9.
9.
9 unless I get some bonus for pushing up against a wall.
No, that's a miss.
Okay.
It your blade, actually you don't even strike anything. He sort of steps to the side and you catch nothing but his robes. He turns to run. So
Can he run?
He sort of
I mean,
why,
like,
why not? Yeah, so he sidesteps your attack and runs sort of. I mean, you've got him up against the wall. You don't have him held or anything.
okay. Yeah, I guess if I do that, he's... All right, I would like to...
So you get an attack opportunity.
Yeah.
But he just turns tail and runs.
6.
Nope.
Nope.
Is that including back attack? And all
Yep.
that? Yeah.
Yep.
It's a miss. Okay. All right. So he is hobbling slowly away. He appears to have a limp of some sort. One foot seems longer than the other.
Okay. I'm going to let him go and go peer over the edge of the cliff. Or,
Okay.
Down towards where the water is.
You see some bubbles surfacing, but no indication of the sack or anything like that.
No
Looks
ability
like
to
it's
swim.
already sunk.
Can I see how deep the water is?
You can't see the bottom. It's sort of a choppy sea.
I grumble, take off my cloak, put it down, take off all of my... I just de-equip myself, I'm down to my clothes. Kick off my shoes. I will keep my dagger on me. My magic dagger, whose name I'm Bloodletter. I'll actually hold Bloodletter in my hand. I'm ambidextrous, so I'll hold him in my left hand. I'll leave all my other stuff like in the alleyway. How far is it from the edge of the alley to the surface of the water?
It's pretty much a straight vertical drop.
But is it like
So
10 feet or like 2 feet?
Oh, it's about 10 feet. Yeah. So it's like a cement.
Yeah.
Seawall.
All right. I want to peer out over the water first and look both ways to see where the closest point where I could pull myself up would be. If there's any point where I could like go from the water to the
You don't
alley.
see anything obvious. It seems like it's like a 10-foot seawall each way.
I grumble and I jump into the water feet first.
You have a swimming proficiency?
I do not have a swimming proficiency. However, I can tread water.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Characters you can't
I'm
swim
unlikely to drown, especially with the wall right here that I can hold on to and like move myself with.
Okay.
But I jump in feet first and look for the look to see how deep it is.
All right. The water is startlingly cold.
Motherfucker.
You stick your head underwater to look for.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I jump down feet first, like trying to go as deep as possible, and then open my eyes while I'm down there and look around for a sack.
Yeah, it takes you a few seconds to get oriented. You see the sack at the bottom. It's probably 20 feet deep. So you're about halfway down and starting to float towards the surface.
I will kick back up
Mm-hmm.
as much as possible, and then try, move the dagger into my teeth, and then I want to use the
Risky
wall.
business, Neil.
Then I want to use the wall
Okay,
to like push myself down, so I can get all 20 feet down. Try and grab the sack and open it underwater, like you'd use this edge of a pool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know you didn't think of that one, did you? Neil's too clever for
that's
him.
fine. Okay. How long can you can hold your breath? What's your constitution?
You can hold your breath 1/3 your con score in minutes. My con score is 8, so just shy of 3 minutes.
So like 2 minutes. Yeah. Okay.
2
Yeah,
minutes,
sure.
40
That's
seconds.
long enough to shimmy down to the bottom of the water.
Hmm.
You are a brave or foolish. I'm not sure which. But that's Quilnir for you.
That's
Yeah,
Qualnir for
sure.
you.
Yeah, you don't have a problem getting 20 feet down underwater
And I want
um,
to open the sack.
with the dagger.
I mean, if it's just like
It's tied. It's tied shut.
if
with a
it's
rope.
tied shut, I'll pull out the dagger and cut it, and then put the dagger back in my teeth.
Okay. Okay. You as you cut it loose, it sort of opens, and you see a few sort of golden brown strands wafting free from the inside of the bag.
I reach
And you
in and
have a
try and
sudden
grab the
horrifying
strands.
realization that they are human hair.
Yeah, I figured as much. I want to try and grab the human hair, or the elfin hair, or whatever racial hair it is, and
Mhm.
then push off the ground and try and make for the surface. If I need to climb on the wall, use the wall as well.
Okay.
So grab the
roll
hair
a-
and try and
yeah,
hold
roll
on.
a strength check.
Oh, come on, Qualnir, don't fail me now, buddy.
I guess you are pretty strong, aren't you?
31.
Okay. The body gets caught in the bag. It does feel quite heavy. So
Hmm.
maybe he wasn't lying. Maybe there are rocks in there. But you manage to wrench it free, and you both float to the surface.
Hmm.
The waves sort of beat you against the wall, but you're sort of floating, and now there is a body floating next to you.
Okay.
Um,
Once I get to the surface,
You're guessing female from the long, sort of brown, blonde, dirty
what
blonde
color
hair.
is Michelle's hair?
Black.
Okay, so it's definitely not her.
No.
Okay, cool. Well, when I get to the surface and manage to catch my breath, I want to check to see if the person is alive.
You're sort of struggling to tread water.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I at least try to get a look at the face.
Yeah. So you manage to roll her over eventually, and the face is pale. She's been dead for a while. Yeah. You're too distracted by the bouncing and the flailing to really get a good look at anything.
Okay. All right. Well, I look up and down the length of the shore, looking for a place where I could maybe get back to dry ground.
Yeah. No one appears to have noticed you. You do notice a ladder, maybe 50 feet up the quay.
Okay. I hold onto the hair and then like try and move myself along the wall to get to the ladder.
Sure. Yeah, you're able to shimmy along the wall,
Okay.
get to the ladder.
When I get to the ladder, I try and put
Along the
body
way,
on my
you hear a
shoulders.
shout from a nearby boat.
I look to the boat.
Hey,
Help!
you okay there?
Help! I wave over.
He runs back and then comes back with a rope.
Mhm.
Like with a little floaty or something at the end that he tosses to you.
Okay. I grab it and try and get into the boat and pull the body into the boat as well.
Okay. It takes some doing.
Mhm.
You can't necessarily climb with a body. I don't know.
No, I think I would have to either push the body in first
So
or
he
pull
pulls
my.
you over. He says, "Oh my God, is she okay?"
I don't know. Help me with her.
Okay.
I'm gonna try and pull them in.
So he puts like one of those hooks,
Mhm.
a gaff over the edge. Actually, yeah, he says, tie the rope around her waist.
I do so.
He does have a gaff, but he didn't end up doing anything with it. Okay, so you tie her. Eventually, another sailor to come from somewhere within the boat to help, and they pull her up first,
Mhm.
and then eventually someone throws you a rope and pulls you up second.
Cool.
Yeah.
Are these rowing boats or sailing?
No, this is a
wind-powered
ship.
boats? Okay.
So the key is set up so that the water is like deep enough for small ships to pull directly up to the
Okay.
to
Cool.
the city.
Well, I look once they get back up. I say,
Yeah. So
is she dead?
so one of them helps you up, and then two of them are sort of looking over her dead body. Say,
Is she dead?
Afraid so. They sort of step back from the look of it for quite a while.
Saw
So
some
you
guy dump her in the water.
so you notice that there are sort of signs of a struggle immediately apparent on her. She's got bruising around her neck, and there are a few cuts in her now waterlogged dress.
I frown.
Tears.
This is not the work of a good man, I say.
They sort of furrow their brows at you. Mm. You saw someone dump her?
Yeah, man in brown robes with a burlap sack over his shoulder. Something about him just kind of hit me the wrong way.
Brown robes, says, kind of stooped.
Yeah, that man. You know who he is?
Who they are.
They?
Yeah. Mongrels.
I shake my head. Who are the mongrels?
The lowest of the low. They do the dirty jobs that most of us don't want to do. You know, taking out trash and etc. Dumping of bodies, though, is pretty low even for them.
Well. Can you guys put me to shore?
And they sort of nod. So one of them speaks up. What are we going to do with her?
I kind of look
They
at the
say,
water
I don't
and go,
know. Bodies are trouble. They sort of look side to side. One of the guy who pulled you up said, "You probably should have just let her lie."
I didn't know she was dead. My mistake.
So they sort of sigh and pull down a rowboat and put you and the dead body into it.
Okay. Does someone come with us as well, or is it just the two of us?
Yeah, I mean, one of the sailors rows you to shore.
Cool. As soon as I get to shore,
The body, and it sort of gathers a crowd.
Okay.
Do you wait and hang around?
No, as soon as I get to shore, I hop off and I just walk it back. I try and go back to that same alleyway and retrieve my things.
So you casually walk away. The sailor says, "Hey, where are you going?"
Not my problem.
What? And it's mine. A small crowd is sort of.
I just keep walking away. I mean,
Okay.
unless there's
He
like
doesn't stop you. I mean, the crowd clearly. I mean, they clearly get a good look at you, but they
Yeah,
sort of part
but
and let you.
the truth
walk.
is on my side in this case. I'll be fine. I'm not worried. I'm not worried about people noticing me with the dead body that I tried to rescue from the water. I have a whole like at worst, I'm a jerk for abandoning the body with some people that may not like it, but they're not going to be like he murdered her. I hope.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah. I'm not necessarily a lawful person
Okay.
or a good person.
Okay.
In fact, I'm quite neutral and evil.
Originally neutral, but over the course of the first few episodes, we
We decided that no,
saw a
no.
shift in alignment, or rather, we got to know Qualnir a little better.
Yeah, his true personality came out.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you walk back to the alley and collect your things.
yeah. Are they also there?
That, huh? Yeah.
Yes. I was really worried I was going to lose all my stuff. But hey, maybe he's not such an evil person after all. Maybe he is a little bit more neutral.
Who? Qualnir?
Qualnir? Yeah, he just tried to save a person. Tried.
Yeah.
He potentially
I think it
sacrificed
was more
his
out of
belongings.
curiosity than anything. All right. So you are now soaked to the bone
Mm-hmm.
down by the docks. It's foggy, and you're starting to catch chill.
I grumble and look for the nearest
Getting
tavern.
towards evening. The Gilded Rat is nearby.
I head back
There
to
are
the
also a
Gilded
few-
Rat.
Okay, there
And,
are also a few like sailors' taverns or brothels.
Sure.
Waterfronts lined with them.
I would look for a place where I could buy some clothes or something like that on my way back to the Gilded Rat.
Sure. Yeah. There's.
No, I have spare
general
clothes in my backpack. What am I
store-
talking about?
Yeah. There's various general supply stores and tailors and whatnot.
No.
But you have.
I turn down an alleyway, strip down naked, put on my other clothes that are dry,
Sure.
And
Which clothes were you wearing?
I was
Which one
probably
did-
wearing my day-to-day clothes. So I've got normal clothes, nice clothes, and black clothes for sneaking about at night. So I was in my normal clothes. I change into my nice clothes.
Okay.
And in fact, I just take my normal clothes and I just leave them in an alleyway.
Okay.
And I want to go buy a new set
Okay.
of just basic, common, everyday clothes.
That's about all you can get in this part of town.
Perfect. How much for some normal clothing?
I don't know. Couple of silver.
I hand the dude a gold.
He. I mean, you're wearing your nice clothes. He. I'll get you some change, sir.
Righto.
Okay. Let's see. Clothing. Oh wow! Hold on. This shit sounds expensive. Actually,
For common clothes?
yeah. I'll say it was about 15, I think it was about 15 silver for a tunic and a pair of pants.
I hand him 2 gold.
Yeah. Okay. He gets you 5 silver back, and these are quite poor. I mean, they're sort of rough spun,
Oops.
thick wool
Okay.
sailor clothes.
That's fine.
Okay.
And then I probably, to his horror, to his probable horror, strip down right there in front of him as I get the clothes and put on the ones that he gave me and put my nice clothes away.
He sort of turns and gives you some space. Doesn't say anything.
Okay. And I walk out and head back to the Gilded Rat. What time of day is it?
It's evening, probably.
Evening? Yeah, I head back to the Gilded Rat then.
Okay. In your new common clothes.
In my new common clothes.
All right. They're sort of ill-fitting, a little baggy, but you sort of tighten your belt and make do.
Okay.
Yeah.
And just making notes.
Yeah. They're sort of gray, rough spun.
Okay. Cool.
It's your color, but they will blend in. And now your hair is sort of salty and waterlogged.
Yeah. When I get to the Gilded
Sort of
Rat, I look
lost a bit of
for
its
a
luster.
fireplace to go hang out in front of.
There is a fire, but it's pretty much down to embers.
I call for the barkeep to. Alright, I just look towards the barkeep and go, Barkeep! More wood for the fire! And I look around to see if there are any females serving drinks, specifically females.
There are no barmaids in the Gilded Rat. There are a couple of shady characters hanging around. The bartender looked up at you as you called for wood and grumbled and went into the back room.
Okay. No bar. Alright, I untangle my braided hair and kind of dry it in front of the fire. I was going to have a girl rebraid it for me. Can you do a French braid on your own, or do you actually need another person to do that for you?
You can.
Yeah? Alright. I will, after it dries, I will rebraid it on my own.
Mm-hmm. Okay, you catch some sideways glances from the sort of rough and tumble brigand types that are hanging around.
You let me know if anyone snickers at me. If anyone snickers at me,
you have a feeling they're probably snickering, but nothing that's audible enough.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, as long as it's not audible or overt.
They're just
as long as they
sideways
know their place,
glances and
that's fine.
whispers amongst themselves.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So it takes a few minutes. Eventually, the barkeep comes over and throws some logs in the fire.
Cider,
And
I say to him as he walks away.
he sort of pauses and
Hard cider.
okay, and he walks away.
Okay. Okay. After I dry off, warm up a little bit, get some hard cider and me, which
A few minutes later, yeah, he brings you a pint of hard apple cider.
I drop 4 copper coins into his hand.
Okay. He sort of, he takes them.
Okay. Good. I want to kick back, find a nice cozy spot, maybe turn around so my back is to the fire now, and eye the audience or the crowd here at the Gilded Rat tonight. Who's around? Who's about?
There are only 4. There's the bartender, you, and 4 other people. 3 of them are in a group, and they were the ones sort of giving you sideways glance and looking at you. They look to be 2 of them look to be sort of big, thuggish types, large,
No
arms
sailors?
bursting out of. They could be. You wouldn't. You're not sure if you could tell.
Okay.
And there's the third is sort of smaller, and he's playing with a long knife. And then there is a 4th that is keeping to himself. Drinking his whiskey with a.
He doesn't look like a sailor either.
No. He's got dressed all in black, leaning back in his chair.
Okay, I will stay 2 hours.
You're guessing these are unscrupulous thieving types.
I will stay for 2 hours. I'll buy myself a couple more drinks, and let me know if there's anyone that looks like a sailor coming in.
No sailors come in. Actually, scratch that. Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
get a
trying
sailor?
to think how you would know what a sailor looks like.
Weathered face, salty hair, kind of,
I mean, everyone here is kind of weathered and salty.
walking with sea legs or bow-legged or just kind of funny.
Bow-legged. They don't sail horses.
They might sail horses. It's Dungeons and Dragons. Anything's possible. Ships can also be referred to as wooden horses, so, But people that are walking funny. Sailors have a funny walk to them. And they always talk about
roll a perception check for each person and see if you can decide if they're a sailor. So it seems to be a pretty low activity bar. After 15 minutes, a single solo man walks in and takes a seat at the bar. He just appears to be wearing plain clothes.
There's 4 perception checks for you. 12, 27, 29, 24.
Okay. So this first one is the 12. He smells a little like fish, but he doesn't look like he's a sailor.
I ignore him then.
He talks to the barkeep for a while. They sort of whisper. And then he turns and leaves.
Okay.
Eventually, a pair comes in. One is a woman in tight leathers. Rare.
Yeah.
The other is a man, sort of taller. She has a curved blade at her side and a whip on the other hip. And the man, a little taller, wearing a hat. They do look to be, with those perception checks, you're getting the impression that they're probably seafaring folk, just based on their weathered look.
I want to avoid these two.
They don't look like, they don't look like sailors. That you're guessing they're probably sea captains or something.
I
based
ignore
on
them.
Salt in their hair and weathered faces.
Getting the impression this is not the right bar for what I'm looking for.
No. So they sit down, and with those perception checks, you notice them. Or the woman slides the barkeep 2 gold coins, and they have a hushed conversation. And they stay for a drink or 2.
Okay.
You want to catch another?
I'll wait for one more person. My 24 perception check.
Yeah. A group of a group of 4 rowdy young men comes in.
Mm-hmm.
And they do not look like sailors. They look like more sort of cutthroats or brigands.
All right, I grumble.
They grab a table.
and walk out. I already paid for my drinks. I paid another 8 copper for my 2 more drinks, and
Okay.
I walk down the street looking for a sailor's bar or a bar that would
Um,
contain sailors.
yeah, even just like around the corner, you hear a lot of commotion coming from a well-lit tavern. And the crowd is sort of spilling out into the street. Um,
Hmm.
yeah, there's a small crowd gathered out front. You see two guys fist fighting in the middle of the street, and you're guessing you found the sailors.
Excellent. I walk up to the crowd surrounding the fight, assuming there is one, and
Yeah, there's a small. Yeah, that means maybe a dozen or so people. There sounds like there's a loud hubbub from inside, so it seems like most of the crowd is ignoring.
I point to one of the guys fighting.
There's a large, bald man, shaved head, shaved face. He's standing a good head taller than the other guy, and probably 2 heads taller than you. The other guy has greasy black hair, and then
I point to the shorter guy with the greasy black hair, and I say I just kind of walk up to someone, nudge him, and say, "Got a silver on the short guy. You up?"
he pulls a silver from his pocket. So the bald guy proceeds to deliver a punch right into the jaw of the shorter man. He appears stunned, but still standing. Another hit. This time, the short guy is a jab to the gut. Ugh. And the tall guy proceeds to bring an elbow down on top of the shorter man's neck, and he crumples to a heap in the street.
Oh, damn it! I hand the guy a silver next to me.
Yeah. There's sort of a little bit of commotion and cheering, and everyone goes back inside.
I say to the guy next to me
the
as he's taking the silver from me, well, good bet, sir. You wouldn't happen to know, now that you've already taken my money, where I could find maybe a local fisherman or willing to make a little money on the side? Guy that's got a small boat?
He shrugs. I'm not based around here. I'm just in for the night.
Nah, fair enough. I pat him on the shoulder and head inside. Oh.
Okay.
I get inside and I kind of look about for someone that's probably a little bit on the older side, not one of the young lads, but a middle-aged gentleman or lady, but probably gentleman because this is a backward time.
Sure, you find a weathered old man drinking by himself.
Excellent. I approach him. If there's a seat next to him, I'll take it. If not, I will stand next to him.
There is no extra seat.
Okay.
There's room at his table, but chairs have been taken.
Okay.
Looks up at you, weather-beaten face, scraggly beard.
You look like a
Greetings.
man who's got a boat. Tell me you've got a boat.
What gave it away?
Something about the way you smell, I guess.
Like fish. You can't get that stench out of anything.
Well, the elves have a saying about that, and I ramble off some gibberish in Elven.
And what's that mean?
Well, let me just say there's 2 kinds of fish you smell, and you smell like the latter. Doesn't matter. So, let me ask you, my rounded-eared friend, would you be willing to make a few coin on the side, give me a tour of the bay? Very much like to see the city from the water. Very much like to
tour, he says.
I would love to be able to view the architecture of all sorts of things.
Fishing's my livelihood. It sounds like a waste of a day.
Not if there's some coin in it for you, right? How would you like a shiny new golden coin to fit in that? Is he wearing a hat?
He is.
It fit in that hat of yours.
Skull cap.
Okay.
beanie type thing. So he had been counting on his fingers, and then he sort of stopped and perked up when he said a shiny new gold coin.
Mm-hmm.
That may compensate for my lost wages.
Yeah, I'd like a tour of the city by water. You know, be able to view the architecture, view the surrounding landscape. Looks like that castle out in the bay is gorgeous. I'd love to get a complete view of that from every angle.
Well, we can circle it, but the armada won't let us any closer than quarter mile.
Oh, they keep a type. They run a tight ship, do they? Awkward silence ensues.
So I'll need half up front. When are you looking to go?
Tomorrow morning?
Sure.
I give him the whole gold coin and I say, "I'll see you tomorrow morning. Where should I meet you?" And
he gives you directions. My ship's moored just yada yada yada, 2 blocks up and 1 block over.
okay.
The name's Mancy.
Mancy?
He sticks out a weathered hand.
I clap him on the hand and say, "Well, Mancy, it's a pleasure doing business with you. I'll meet you beyond yonder pier tomorrow morning." And then I head back to Seabreeze to take a load off and rest somewhere where it's actually peaceful and there's good food and we just aren't surrounded by assholes that smell bad. Which may be a little redundant.
You're starting to get the fishy stink to you.
Yeah.
After that dip in the bay.
Yeah. If possible, I'd like to draw a nice long bath because I did pay for the nice rooms here at Seabreeze, and I request a bath. Also, I request that my remaining clothing be washed by one of their washerwomen.
Sure. They take your clothes. So a servant takes your clothes, draws your bath,
Nice.
waits
All right.
expectantly,
I bathe. Yeah.
leaves.
Wave's done. Great. It's been an hour, just shy of an hour. Let us take our first break here, and when we come back,
Skip describing Qualnir's bath.
yeah, we're just gonna fast travel over the bath. No need for. And then he washed his other thigh, and all the elven hairs. Blah blah blah. So, anything else, or are we good?